I think it's important that every day we wake up and we tell ourselves that we are worthy of love and belonging just because we breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Our worth is not based on how our children are doing, if they're happy, if they like the lunches you made. One of the moms in our group, who I have to give her credit, Hillary Smiley, says this, and I have quoted her so many times, that our worth is not based on how well our special needs child is.
I agree.
We have worth just because we are, just because we breathe, just because we're mothers.
We're women.
We're women, we're girlfriends, we're wives, we're friends, we're daughters, we're sisters.
Yes.
We are all of that, and I believe in celebrating all those parts. I really, really do. Our worth is not based on how we play out our many role and duties, and it's not based on keeping all the plates spinning.
No.
It's not based on whether we make everybody in our family feel good and sunshiny and happy and that life is fair. Because
It wouldn't be character building if they were always happy.
that's right, that's right. So what are some other ways, besides identifying expectations and what we're doing, what we're saying to ourselves, what else can we do to combat this cycle of mommy guilt?
I think just more sharing. Dispelling the myth that we all have it all, figured out.
Yes.
Breaking away from the generation of our mothers where I feel they probably, maybe they did share, in their own circles. They just didn't have to do it in such a public Instagram or, Facebook way. But sharing your shame, acknowledging those not so great moments so that other mothers don't feel so alone.
Yes.
But also sharing your triumphs.
I love that.
I think that we don't realize how contagious certain aspects of sharing can be. And while we might harp on our trials sometimes, and it's even when we get with our girlfriends, it's easy to kind of harp on the things that aren't going well, but those little triumphs, and the triumph could be, my 4-year-old ate more than a peanut butter and jelly sandwich today. I did this, I pulled it off, or I just kicked butt in my son's IEP meeting.
Yes.
I got it all taken care of. Sharing those triumphs. I have a kind of a text chain that I have with a group of girlfriends, and I call it the power of the group text. Because you can send that one text of, hey guys, the IEP's over, we did it, we got everything that we needed, and all of those beeps start chiming in, and mom's kind of giving you, that pat on the back that you need. So I would just say the act of sharing, it's not only contagious, but it's curative.
So good. I love that. I totally agree with you. Brene Brown, again, we have to bring up Brene Brown. She is the PhD in shame. She does. I didn't say it right. Anyway, if you have not watched a Brene Brown
She's amazing.
TED Talk, please go watch both of them.
And it really helps distinguish, again, the difference between guilt and shame.
Yes, absolutely. But she says if we share our story with someone who responds with empathy and understanding, shame cannot survive. This is why we need community. This is why we need connections, support groups.
I think that's not only so important, but I love that she specifies with someone who responds with empathy and understanding.
Yes.
Because I should quantify by sharing, it doesn't mean, just standing in the middle of Target. Well, that might happen too, but and just spewing things, because we need to be mindful of not only the expectations we have of ourselves, but the expectations that we have of others. Some people aren't purposed to be able to receive our story or to respond to our story in the way that will be helpful or uplifting. And so find that community, find that group. And when you do, love that tribe with all that you have, because if you can share your story with someone who responds with empathy and understanding, it will completely extinguish shame. I love that. Yeah.
I agree. We have to remove the word should from our vocabulary. We said that already. We can't should on ourselves. Oh, I should be like this. I should do this. No, we need to just reframe it, the expectations, into agreements. For example, I should never yell at my kids. Okay, that's a should we
unreasonable.
often say. How about I agree to practice patience with my kids?
Mhm.
Doesn't that sound so much better? There's no expectation. There's nothing that you have to fulfill, and you're not a failure if you slip and lose your cool.
Go back to that agreement. You try again,
Mhm.
again, removing that should from the dynamic. I think it's great.
Mhm.
And I would pair removing should with just practicing gratitude.
I agree.
Being in a space where each day you can recognize the blessings you have, be thankful, not be so hypercritical
Yes.
of everything. We, in particular, are fortunate to live in beautiful California. You know,
It's a sunny day.
the sun is shining
Sorry, it's
in.
December.
I'm sorry, people. It's December and the sun is shining in beautifully into this kitchen chat. I feel gratitude for that, for being able to be here on a Thursday, you know, on a sunny day. So trying to focus a little bit more on that.
I agree. This is not my own words, I'm quoting somebody else, but when we start each day from a place of recognizing blessings and being thankful, it is harder to see the negative in your day. It's going to be harder to pick on ourselves and pick ourselves apart and criticize ourselves and sit around in self-loathing if we start and end our day
Yeah.
with 3 to 5 things that we are grateful for. It just
I love
shifts
that.
us.
I
It
love
really, really does. If you keep a gratitude journal, I encourage you, include all the ways that you help and serve your family. So often we think of other things. This is not something that I probably have ever put in a gratitude journal, but it came to me as I was preparing for this kitchen chat. What if we said, I am grateful for how I do fill in the blank for my son. I am grateful I get to do this, fill in the blank, for my family. I am grateful that I keep track of all the appointments. I'm grateful that I can sit through an IEP meeting and feel like I was able to be a great communicator. Why not focus on some of those things that we do every day?
We're not taught to acknowledge those things and or to be grateful for them. You know, the advocacy that being a mom has taught me. For those moms that are working moms, I'll be honest, I feel like I was you know, on track, you know, throughout the duration of my career, working hard, excelling, receiving the accolades that I deserved and, you know, were garnering. But if I was to really look at the scope of when things really began to kind of shoot up for me, it was after my son was born. One would think that the demands of being a mother would have negatively impacted my ability. But I would go into department meetings and classrooms and boardrooms, not only as a professor, but also as a mom who had negotiated and advocated and juggled so many things on behalf of my son that what they were asking of me to do, I could do it in my sleep. And there was to some extent an air of confidence about that. With distance and time, I'm now able to look back on that season and recognize I have gained so much from being a mother that it is informing every area of my life. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the leadership and the advocacy that it has taught me, for the creativity, the ability to kind of change trajectories on a dime because of, you know, some unexpected thing that's occurred with your child. I'm grateful for those things, and I never considered exploring that aspect of gratitude.